welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto Channel. Guys, it is, I don't even know, what is today? Anybody know what today is? I have no idea. I've been a little under the weather this week, and I'm kind of out of sorts. Not on our trading, though. We've been kicking butt and taking names on trading, but I'm a little out of sorts today. I think it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Does that sound right? Wednesday? Bitcoin pumping, guys, coming up to our dang red box. It actually entered the red box. So let's zoom in just a little bit. It's entering it again now, but I don't even got to show you that it entered it earlier, but it did. But we're in it now. We're actually going to jump right in. Let's. I'm going to watch this for a second as we kind of talk. I'm not going to dive into anything because I'm really hoping, and I have alerts set to get into this trade at taking out 72.2. Let's drop down to some lower time frames. We might can get in this live on stream. We're going to come back and say, hey to everybody, if we take this right now, we will have, only if we reject from it, of course, we will have at least 24 minute, 30 minute, 45 minutes. Hourly's kind of iffy. Well, we just took this local high with bearish divergence. Okay, so we just took local high bearish divergence, but I don't want this trade. And I might be wrong, and if I'm wrong, then it goes without me. I just don't think we came all the way up here to leave this by about $100. Maybe we did. Maybe the bears are that strong, they're protecting their positions. Well, how does that happen? I want to know how that happens. You have a lot of people who have shorted right here, a lot of shorts, a lot of liquidations. And they put their stops right up in here, right? A lot of them liquidations and stops right above this. You have people that shorted here, all this kind of stuff, all these shorts up in here, and their liquidations and stop losses go here. So when price comes near it, so that they don't lose money, they protect their position by adding to their trade, which is forces sell orders, right? Pushes the price down. So what you see now is them protecting their position, okay? Does that make sense? They're protecting their position by not allowing price to go here. We'll see if the bulls got the power to come grab this liquidity, and then we'll see if they get the power to keep it going, or if that's all they wanted and they roll it back over, which is what we're hoping for. Now, it doesn't have to be to the dang dollar. They could come up a few $100, you know, $1,000 even. So we wait for the reaction, guys, but we're going to watch it here live on stream. Normally we do VIP Discord only right now, but not today. Today is a possible special Babylon 2.0 kind of day. So we're geared up. I got the old, guys, I'm on MEXC today. Let me drag it over for you so you believe me. I got it loaded on the other screen, old MEXC ready to go. I'm not in any trades. No trades. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's talk about it right now. While we wait, U.S. market has not opened. We have 10 minutes. So we were in the short trade, given in real time. Dang it. Sorry, guys. I'm drawing lines everywhere. Let me zoom back out here. We already know we're going to have at least 45-minute bearish divergence and down if we were to kind of reject from here right now or in the next little bit here. So I don't have to keep referring to that. I'll go back to it, though, once we hit these alerts and they start going off, if we hit them. So in real time in the VIP Discord, we gave this short trade right here. And then in real time in the VIP Discord, we gave this long right here, okay? Actually took this long on the VIP live stream yesterday. I closed it way too soon, apparently. I'll show you what I did. Let me drop down to hourly. In case you're wondering why I closed it too soon, we came up. First of all, here's the short trade. I got stopped out of that. I stayed in the short. I did TP on the way down. I got stopped out. Made $3,200 on that trade. I got stopped out this morning as we came back to my entry. And the long trade yesterday, I closed. I voluntarily closed. Made $1,300. So between the two trades, we're at $4,500. I gave these live. I took one of them live on stream yesterday. But anyway, let's check out the long and why I closed it and missed this nice pump. It's my own fault, but I wasn't upset. So we came down. I was in the short from here, right? In case you forgot, I was short from here and then long from near the dang bottom. I think my long was somewhere in here. Right in here, right at the bottom of this blue wick. That was my short. We shorted that U.S. reversal right there. Nailed it to the dang dollar. Anyway, we came up. I got the fib on here. Let me oops. Let me change this fib a little. It's a little busy. Take out the 382 and 0.5. So my favorite rejection spot is the 702, which is this red line right here. And look, guys, this is like a 1 hour candle, but we came up to it, and it's my fault. I closed it. I admit it. I'm not upset. We came up to it, and look at this massive wick, this massive rejection to the downside. So as soon as we hit this and rejected it, I mean, it rejected in minutes. I mean, I just closed my trade. That was it. I thought that was it. 702 rejection. We're headed down. I was still in my short trade from here. I was still in my short at the time. So I was cool. Took down to $1,300 profit and rejected hard, and we just swooped right back up for a big pump. So my fault, but I ain't upset. I am not upset. Throw on to that, guys. All I can do is show you the account balance right now because Kraken does not do P&L cards. But I gave you guys this. Actually, I just withdrew $2,000. I'll show you that in case you don't believe me. Some of you haters don't believe. Right here, you can see I withdrew $2,000 this morning. I put $2,000 more into my MEXC so I can have a really, really big, juicy Babylon 2.0 trade. So I withdrew $2,000 this morning on that. However, my balance was at $78,000, almost $79,000, and I showed you this account in the VIP Discord on Sunday or Monday. I can't remember. We could go look. I showed it on the live stream too. Anyway, we're up about $8,000 in altcoin trades this week. Okay, spot altcoin trades. I've given and shown these trades in the VIP Discord because I know I got some people that don't believe me. Right here, here's where I'm giving and taking them in the Discord. $70,000 worth, whatever day the second was, 3 days ago. $72,000 worth. Made quick profit yesterday. I was chatting with somebody in the Discord yesterday in DMs, and I literally just took a trade as we were chatting. I made $500 in like 20 minutes. Just opportunity presented itself. Anyway, we're up $8,000 there and something like that. 32 plus 13, 45, 4,500. So we're at $12,000, over $12,000 on the week. Good job, guys. Most of these trades, not all of these alts were given to you as I take them. Sometimes when I take an alt trade, it is really fast. I see something I'm looking for, and I know by the time I post it and most people see it and they take the trade, I'm usually out of that trade. So when I do give you an altcoin trade, it's one that I anticipate being in for a little while so that you guys have a chance to get in there. Anyway, $12,000 on the week. We are happy. Who says that? Happy. That's from a show or a movie. Anyway. We have some news coming up this morning, guys. I just don't know how much I think the news is going to affect things today. Flashbang. Squint your eyes. We do have ISM non-manufacturing coming up here in about 30 minutes. Now, I don't know. I really don't know. Normally, it would create some volatility. Today's a squirrely week with the WAR, IRAM, BOMB situation. Tomorrow, however, jobless claims and Friday. Tomorrow creates some volatility with jobless claims, but Friday, guys, I don't care what's going on in the world. Friday with non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate. Friday, if these reports miss their target, we're going to have some significant volatility on Friday. Okay, so Friday is going to be a good tradable volatile day. All right, I feel like I neglected you guys. Let's go see who's here. Max, what's up? Thanos, my main man. Thanos going to take the Babylon 2.0 trade. I know you are. John the Mod, West Coast, Salt Chain, Eons. John says he thinks the long was at 66.4. I'll tell you exactly where it was. We took it from 66.445. That was my entry. 66.445. I'll show you exactly where it was. on the 6-minute chart, because that's what I was looking at when I took it. That is what I was looking at when I took it. This dang blue candle right here. I mean, we literally nailed the bottom right here. We took it on that blue candle. I remember we were coming down at 8:30. That was 8:30, I think. 8:35, 8:40. I said, if we see a blue or green candle at 8:45, I said, I'm going to long the heck out of it. And as soon, I remember on the VIP live stream, I should play it back for the non-believers. As soon as this candle turned blue, I said, I'm long. You guys remember that. So we took it from this candle, and you never came back to it. You never came back and took out the low. Never. Never, 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 never. It was just up, 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 up. So great trade. Played out to perfection yesterday. And that was our bullish bias. We had the bullish bias going in. That is not our candle. I lied. I don't know why I'm drawing that. I already got the arrow on it. It was this one right here. This blue candle. Yeah, U.S. market session. This blue candle. We never came back and took it out. Never, 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 never. Up only. This dang blue candle right here, right at the U.S. market open. Yep, that's right. We had 3 vectors to the downside. 8:30, 8:35, 8:40. I said, let's look for the 8:45 reversal, and there we go. And we had the bias going in. I think I covered this yesterday. We had the bias going in because Asia and UK trended down. We knew the U.S. was likely to reverse. Easy trade, guys. So what are we looking for today besides the obvious? Hopefully a swoop of 72.2. Here's another thing I really like about it. If we do, okay, we have a bearish bias today. Every freaking body, and I'll gladly admit that I'm wrong if I'm wrong, everybody out there that I've kind of seen this morning, I just kind of scrolled some thumbnails, is bullish AF. Everybody calling for 75K, 80K, 100K, and maybe. But I have a bearish bias today, if nothing else, for this U.S. market open. Why? Anybody tell me why? Asia and the UK trended up. The U.S. is most likely to reverse it, and I hope they do in a big kind of way. But before they do, I would like to see them vector candle up here for 10 or 15 minutes at open, swoop that 72.2, and then reverse down. That is what I would love to see. Or exactly, just like that. Giving me these good bearish divergences. We're going all in, baby. All in. That is the plan. If we don't get it, we don't get it. We are technically in the dang red box, so trade is activated. But I slept through it, so I missed the initial entry. You could have gotten actually a pretty good profit here if you just barely wicked into it, but you could have got a pretty good profit if you'd have taken that and TP'd down here somewhere. Of course, you would have gotten stopped out now, but that's beside the point. So the market looks bullish, but we have a bearish bias. Let's go a little more into. John says, seem to be following those fractals from last cycle. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Salt Chain says you nailed the prediction of the pump this week too. Looking forward to the dump. Yes. Perfect timing bull run, or excuse me, bull moon in full effect. Yeah. Yeah, that dang bull moon. That dang bull moon. All right, we're moving up, guys. Let's see if we take it. See if we take it. We're at market open right now. I'm going to drop to the 5-minute. Let's see if we take it. Let's see. Still have our divs, 15-minute divs, 24-minute divs, yes. 30-minute divs. Money flow's coming up, though. It could get dangerous. This could get... We'll see. I'm not shorting just because we take this level. Thanos, you ready? I'm taking 2 trades, by the way. A scalp and what I would consider to be a day or swing trade. So if I take profit quickly on one trade and maybe even close it, it is my scalp. I plan to let this day trade run. Here we go. See what we get, guys. About to take it. We took it. Well, I got to flip screens. I got to see if we took it on Bybit. I'm not on Bybit. Yes, we took it. See if we get a reaction here, guys. I'm still leaning towards waiting to 845 for a more higher probability trade, but let's just see, guys. We just took the high. No trade yet. We talked about this in Discord this morning about possibility of the Dow Jones opening and coming to gap fill and then rolling over. Why are we still beeping? Alts are moving up. I'm getting the altcoin notifications. That's expected. I'm actually going to drop to the 1 minute here. We still have 1 minute divs. Oh, getting WorldCoin. Get an Alexander buy signal. Bitcoin is very unconfirmed though. No trade yet, guys. Ideally, we're looking for a swing failure pattern. You have the green line is the previous high. I might take this on my scalp. Sure, why not? Let's take it on the scalp account. We took it on the scalp. Let's see what happens. Thanos. Max took the short from the dang red box. Usually waits on me, but he got antsy. We're in it, guys. This may not be the big one. We're taking it from the scalp for now. Just kind of see. We do not have a confirmed. We do have a 1 minute confirmed SFP, but that's not good enough for me. This, yeah, it's great. It's a start, but this is a more higher time frame, or high medium time frame trade, right? Because we're taking out a high that's been in place for a month now, so I don't. It's not confirmed on a 1 minute for me. I at least want to see a 15 minute, if not an hour or 4 hour. I think if this thing rejects, guys, it could reject fast and hard. You got some really big vector candles on the way up. We'll just see how this thing plays out, y'all. We will see how this thing plays out. All right, let's move on, y'all. I know y'all don't want to watch this and just stare at this. So here's the fractal. This is the fractal. I'm going to show this on a little another chart that I have never put it on before. This is the fractal, the blue fractal. It's on the daily time frame of the 2022 area that we're currently in my opinion, of this cycle. And you can see it is playing out to a dang T, guys. I mean, it doesn't get much. It may not be dollar for dollar, but it is literally playing out to a dang T. Boom, 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 right? I mean, you see it. You see it. So now we could be looking for something like this. Boom. Boom. I mean, so far, this thing is dang near exact. And this could be where we are. We've been calling for this. For those of you that think we have not been calling for this, who think I'm just making this stuff up as we go, this has been on the chart for before we even got to this area. This has been on the chart that this was my plan before we even got to this area. And we have, I understand the first arrow or the second arrow, the first arrow nailed, but I understand that the timing of the arrows is not exact, and that's okay. That wasn't the point. The point was the illustration, and we just hit into this box at this big green arrow. Now I'm expecting the big move down. It doesn't have to happen today, but this has been on here, and it's been in Discord. We can show you. My Discord can verify. It's been there. What am I doing? Checking on our trade. We're good, guys. We're up. This is the scalp trade. I'm in the day also. Thanos, that was you, bro. I'm going to put my stop for now above this high. For now. That doesn't mean I don't believe in the trade. It just means if we come up there and I get stopped out, then I can get a better entry. I'm gonna. Yeah. All right. I got my stop in. I got my stop in on my day trade. I'm going to come back to these. I'm going to pull these back over as it progresses. I got my stop in on the day trade. I just secured $150 profit on the scalp trade. My stop on my scalp is at entry. My stop on the day trade is above the high here. So we are protected. We are good. Guaranteed winning trade. If I get stopped out of the day, I'll break even because I just secured enough. Here's how it goes for me, guys. I just secured enough on my scalp trade that I can go into a little drawdown on my day trade and still break even. Okay? And if we keep coming down and I take more off of my scalp trade and I move my stop loss on my day trade down, then it'll be guaranteed profit trade no matter what. And I will feel confident in that, like psychologically good, like I made profit, that I won't try to take profit or close my day trade too soon and I'll let it run because I've made profit, guaranteed profit because of my scalp trade. Does that make sense? So I cannot lose on the scalp trade. I've made $150. If I get stopped out up here, I will lose $150. So I'm breaking even no matter what. Actually, I'm going to make like, if I get the exact, if I don't get any slippage there, I'm going to make like $1.23. So we're good. We're good. And if we come and take this and create new 1 minute divergences, I will re-enter. So this could be the one we've been waiting on, y'all. All right, let's go take a look. So I'm going to show this fractal over here, which I've never done before, okay? Guys, I might be wrong, and this might not play out. But if anybody looks at this, the other YouTubers, and they're calling for 100K, looking at this, and it's not just this. It's not just that. Right? It's not just this last little final leg down, in my opinion. It's this entire dang thing. And they're telling you we're going to new all-time highs, or we're going to 100K, or anything more than maybe a little bit higher than where we are now, then they're crazy. They may be wind up being right. Sometimes crazy is right. But we have traded the heck out of this to a dang T so far. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, so I do have these stats that have been on here. 2018, we call this cross, this monthly. The EMAs you see, I'm on the daily time frame, but these EMAs are set to monthly EMAs, even though we're on the daily time frame. So this cross right here is the white 5 crossing the orange 13. Okay, that is what I've called, and you go back and back test it. I've shown it in videos, streams, you name it, Discord. This is what I call the bear leg cross. And to me, it initiates the final leg down of the bear market, and it has every time, okay? So days from the cross to the actual bottom in history in 2018 took 48 days, 2022 took 40 days, and right now we're on day 43. So we're there. We're there to where we should be bottoming within the next week. I mean bottoming, guys. This 48 days was the bare bones bottom for Bitcoin in 2018. And in 2022, I acknowledge we did technically set a new low. However, and we could do that this time. However, this was on the big FTX scandal. You know, just FTX dumped everything they had before he went to prison, caused the market crash, a panic sell, just a nightmare of a crypto scandal. In my opinion, if not for that, and I understand it happened, I get it happened. But if not for that, your bottom is in here, right here, which was 40 days. Okay, and yeah, sure, this could happen again. You could have another scandal, I get it. But you did not have a scandal, therefore you did not have this section here in 2018. It was just this, and then you danced around for, I don't know, 6, 8, 9 months, and then moved up and out. So I'm going to assume this is the bottom. I mean, even though this came a little lower, it barely came lower. So for all intents and purposes, this was the bottom, okay? If you bought here at 17K, you're not mad that you missed 15 and a half, right? Right? Close enough for an asset that went to 126 whatever $1,000. Close enough. So for all intents and purposes, we're fixing to bottom, in my opinion, guys. I mean bottom. Just be ready, guys. I've already told you I think this is going to be a faster cycle, and I'm the number one guy who's always like, this time is never different. In my opinion, it is about to start being different. And I have reasons. We're going to cover that. The Shemitah. Those of you not familiar with the Shemitah, we're going to talk about the Shemitah at some point. Good trade, guys. Did anybody take this trade with me? I know Max is in it. Max took it, guys. I gave you the trade. When I took it. We're up. Hang on, let me get my day pulled up. $700 in the day trade. I've secured $150 on the scalp trade, and we're up another $110 right now. So we're up $1,000. Good job, guys. I'm going to pull it over here in a second, but I don't want to get distracted with that as we go through this. But I'm going to pull all this over in just a bit. Okay, let's look at our March stat. Let me show you something else. Of course, March isn't over, so I could and would be glad. Salt chain is short. John is short. Good job, guys. We showed I'm targeting 50K for now. At least a sub 60K. What was I saying? Oh, okay, let me show you the March stats. And I know March isn't over. Here's our March stats. This has been on here since March the 1st. I may have even done it it had to be March 1st, because I always put my first arrow here, the tip of it, the day that I do this. So I showed this March the 1st. This is actually, March stats. And let me just recap this real quick, because I know people hate on this. I get hate mail on this stuff, guys. Y'all are crazy if you hate mail on this. Check it out. We put these on here. Let me turn March off. I started this in December. Bitcoin moved down, guys. I hope y'all took this trade with me. What a good trade we just nailed. We've been looking for this trade. If you didn't take this trade, guys, then you just don't believe in our trades, because this trade has been on the chart for over a month. I'm not saying it's going to pan out all the way. Maybe it doesn't, but you could be TPing right now. Everybody who just took this trade with me is in good profit, so it's up to you to take it or not. I'm letting my run. Anyway, started this in December. Here's our December stats. We nailed it. I used to type a lot more back then, but we nailed it. I mean, freaking nailed it. We predicted a move down first. This is based upon historical, the lifetime of Bitcoin, December stats only, which I've compiled into charts. I've shown you guys these charts. I show them every month on the 1st, or sometimes the last day of the month for the next month. Always either the 31st or the 1st, I show these. We predicted a move down to 5 to 7%, then a move up 5 to 7%. We got to move down 7.5%. Then we only moved up 4.5%. So we missed a little bit of the wick to the upside, but we got the trend correct. That was December. And I just saved these as we go. Then we did January. Boom. We nailed January. I mean, we nailed January to a dang T. I mean, right to the both boxes. Actually, that was in, yeah. We nailed this to a dang T. I mean, to a freaking T, guys. Nailed. I guess I didn't type that out that month. And then we had February stats, which we nailed. I mean, we came into it. It's hard to see, but because it looks like the green arrow missed, but we actually did come into the box right there. And this is what we're looking for, and these stats have been on the chart since then. Now, we didn't come down to the historical average low, which was here where the arrow is, but I did draw this yellow line at the time. At the time, the green line, which is the monthly 55, stopped right there. So it was not extended out. So I extended it with a yellow line. I drew that, and I said, this is where I predict we go. I didn't think we would come all the way down, just based upon the bear cross info that I just gave you. I didn't think we'd come all the way down. So we nailed my target, and we nailed the historical target to the upside. Nailed it. Nailed them both. So these historical stats are really powerful, guys. Bitcoin typically performs. You can find trends. Let's just say that. So what are we looking for March? We covered this already. Covered this on March 1st. March stats. We're looking for a high in the first week and down only after that. The stats have shown, and this is a 100% stat, and very rarely do you find any 100% on Bitcoin. Very rarely. However, and that doesn't mean it's always going to be 100%. In fact, it probably won't. However, in the past, 100% of the time, when you have a high in the first, you open up to the upside, open up to the positive side, and you set that high in the first week, 100% of the time, you have a negative monthly March close, 100% of the time. Inversely, if you set the low in the first week, then 100% of the times, historically, you've had a positive closing March. Again, this time could be different. But we, based upon our analysis and based upon our fractal and things like that, anticipated this move up. The boxes were the historical average percentages. I drew the yellow line on here. I remember this. I drew the yellow line, which we just nailed. And I said, this is where I think we top out. But historically, this would be the box, historically. But I said, I think we tap out here. And we can still come up in our box. I'm not saying I'm correct. This is not played out. But historically, somewhere in here would mean we're down only for the rest of the month. And this box is where historically the average move down would be. But I actually said we're coming much lower this month. And I have the target down here around 50. I got it at 49.5, but anywhere around 50K-ish. That is my target. So far we've hit my target to the upside. It remains to be seen if that's the high. And we'll see how this plays out. But thus far, we have not been wrong since predicting these. Now, we didn't get every percentage or maybe every single exact day, but our trend has been 100% just not based on Cypher, not based on Bjorn, money flow, any of that, just on historical data. And until that misses, I'm sticking to it. And so far, it's playing out exactly like we drew it up. So pay attention to this stuff, guys. A lot of you guys just dismiss this stuff, and I'm telling you, I just showed you the last 4 months worth, nailed. And some of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure I have some new viewers. Let's, I'm just going to show you real quick one flashbang coming up, guys. I'm just going to show you this chart. So you can see this is what I've done. This is the month of March. I've gone through every single year, and I've gotten the open, close, wick high, wick low, how much you gained for open and close, whether or not it was a win or loss, and then your wick high and wick low, along with the date you set the high or the date you set the low. And I've averaged out all of that, and it gave me the averages here. And sometimes you find, most of the time you find some sort of trend, not always. The only trend, there was no trend here as far as percentage or this or that, or the year following the halving, nothing like that. The only trend, which was 100%, was that if you open up to the high side, you always close negative. And if you opened up to the low side, you always close positive. That was 100%. That was the only good, solid, in my opinion, tradable trend to the March stats. So that's what we've taken, and we threw the average wick high and wick low on just for reference, but then I went in and told you where I think the targets are. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. That's what we're looking for. Guys, I'm taking your altcoins, by the way. Show me your alts. If you want to look at alts, you need to be ready for these alts, guys. If we are, in my opinion, a week or so, give or take, sometime the rest of this month from the bottom, if we bottom this month, you're going to want to start, not financial advice, DCA into some alts possibly, okay? Don't think you have until next year, and maybe you do, maybe you can still buy some alts cheap next year, I don't know, I have no idea. But don't think we have until October, November, December before we bottom. I don't think so. So, who knows? It remains to be seen, but I'm playing it. I plan to fill some bags. I may not throw 100% in at this area, but I plan to fill some bags here, guys. We're already trading the heck out of them. We're up $8 grand in altcoin trades, spot altcoin trades this week. Taken, shown, everything. But be ready for your targets now. Don't just get caught. I encourage you not to get caught off guard. That's all I'm gonna say. So let me know if you want to look at some alts. Let's go back and look at the VIX, our leading indicator for volatility. I don't even know what happened at 8:45. Let's look. It doesn't even matter. I'm already in the trade, so we'll see how this plays out. But you got 8:30 fake out to the upside, immediate reversal, and then just kind of chilling. I'm already in my trades. I'm in my trades, and I'm happy. I cannot lose. No matter what happens, I cannot lose. I could get stopped out and re-enter, but I'm already in profit. I cannot lose. And my stops are tight. It's very simple. It's very simple. I'm not complicating this. If we come above that, I'm stopped out. Period. Well, why? Why don't you give it a little breathing room, Anthony? Well, I'm willing to give some breathing room, sure. But in this particular situation, where's our dang red box? Let me refresh. I'm missing our dang red box given in advance. There it is. I'm willing to give it breathing room all the way up to here. But I don't have to now. This was just the target area that I was looking to enter my trade. I was looking to enter my trade in this box. This box has been on here for over a month. And I was willing to let it go as high as here. And reject. So it could have come up a little higher and reject. And I would have thought to myself, I still have the right read on this. This is still a good trade. But I don't have to now. I've already gotten in my trade here. So now I can put my stop here, and if we continue up to the top of the box, I can re-enter at a better entry. And I'm already in profit. Already secured, realized. So I'm not going to ride this in the drawdown. I'm going to take a better entry. If it comes back out here, comes back up here, and stops me out, I will reevaluate there, see if we get new divergences, and I will re-enter at a better entry rather than riding in the drawdown. I'm just not going to do it. I'll ride into some drawdown, profit drawdown. If you come down here, I don't mind riding what I call profit drawdown. This profit, like I'm in profit here, now I'm in less profit here. If I still believe in the trade, I don't mind riding this, but I'm not riding into drawdown when I already have a successful trade that I've TP'd on. I'll just get a better entry. Why ride into drawdown when this thing could just blast to the moon? No, get stopped out in profit or break even. See if you create new divergences, right? Create new divergences up here, get a better entry. And that way, during this period of time, you're not coming back to break even here. You're coming back in profit here. And by the time you get back to what your break even would have been, you're actually in good profit. I don't trade that way. Some guys do. That's cool. That's great. It messes with my head. I'm not very smart. It messes with my head too much to do that. I like seeing profit. I hate seeing red. I do see red. I do lose some trades. You get the point. Good trade so far, guys. Thanos, where you at, bro? Anyway, give me your alts if you want to see some alts. If you want to see some alts, give me your alts. Let's go take a look at Fetch. You know we're big on Fetch. Look at this fractal, guys. I'm not saying it's going to play out just like Bitcoin. I'm not going to say it, but people are smoking crack if they can't see the similarities here. So you're playing with fire. If you're trying to buy alts because they had this little like 3% pump today, I mean, I don't know the percentage. This is actually the same exact price area. Let's go look. You see the gray dotted line? I'll mark out price right here. Some of you can't see that. Price is right there, the orange line. Let's go back and look. May of 22, so the same area we were in. Right here. This is the same fractal. This is where I took the fractal from. I took it on the daily, but this is the 3-day. Let's go back. Some people aren't going to see what I'm saying. And you can go to another exchange and see more history on this coin. I'm just on this exchange because that's what I'm spot trading it on right now. But this is the fractal that I took. Okay, this is it. All right. So the orange line is where current price is. So we're at the exact same price area. So this is how price behaved in the exact same bear leg time frame at, coincidentally, the exact same price. This is how it behaved before. Doesn't mean it's going to behave that way this time, but thus far, that's exactly how it's behaving. The exact same way. So every one of these little candles was 3% candles, 4% candles, 5% candles, 2%, every one of them. It doesn't mean that you should FOMO in, because if this plays, you're fixing to roll off the toe of this stiletto. If it plays. Some of you new are like, what in the hell is a stiletto? What does a stiletto have to do with anything? There's our stiletto, guys. Uh-oh. I did something. There's our stiletto, guys. Look at that. There's our stiletto pattern. Price comes down into the heel. Price pumps up. And then slowly but surely rolls off the toe. Just like this. Just like that. Stiletto pattern. You're seeing it in real time, guys. And look, I could be wrong. This thing could absolutely go. But thus far, nothing has changed for this or Bitcoin. Nothing. So they will literally have to prove me wrong. And that's okay if they do. That's okay if they do. By no means do I think the bottom of anything is in right now. By no means. So even if it doesn't happen right now and it takes it 2-3 months and, you know, it kind of differs a little this time, I do still think you're going to get an ultimate bottom. You already know I think every single coin is going to take out its October 10th low. We're here on Fetch. Let's take a look at it. We haven't updated this in a minute. I'm going to go to the Binance chart. That's where I have all my drawings. Fetch is one of the few, it's not the only one, but it's one of the few that has not taken out its October 10th low. I do think it gets taken out. I'm really targeting right in there, although we're entering this volume gap. We're actually already in it, this volume gap here. Certainly could come all the way down to point of control, but I'm a buyer, and that's cool if I don't get the bitty bottom. I'm a buyer anywhere right in here, really anywhere between the low we set last month and the October 10th low. I'm a buyer in this area. Guys, if I buy at 11 cents, I have no idea where this is going next cycle. I have no idea. Nobody does. It went to about $3.50 last cycle. If it only goes to $1.50 and I bought it at 12 cents versus 11 cents, does it really matter? Does it really matter if you bought at 12 cents versus 11 and it goes to, they're both 10, 12x, 13x. Does it really matter? What I don't want to do is be looking for this 11 cent October 10th low. It come down to like 11.50 bounce, and I'm thinking, okay, we're coming to take that 11 cents. Yep, it's going to turn around any minute now, any minute now, any minute now. And next thing you know, I'm buying at 30 cents. That is what I don't want to do. So I don't try to time the exact dang bottom. Just like everything else, guys, I tell the Discord this all the time. I said something about it yesterday. Like, yeah, there is an exact bottom. There's a line, and I'm about to draw this. I don't know if this is going to be the bottom for fetch. I have no idea. There's a line. Let's say this green line is the bottom. Let's say that's the bottom. We come back and double bottom there. There's a line. There's a definite exact price. You're right, but it really is a zone. It really is a zone. You have to treat it as a zone or you will miss the bottom. Unless you just get lucky. You got to treat it as a zone. And you have to think, this is not a scalp. Okay, I'm not planning to take this and then boom, close the trade. So I need to be pinpoint accurate. I'm planning to take this and hold. So I don't need to be pinpoint accurate. If I get this zone, I'm good. I'm okay. So I encourage you to treat some of this as a zone. If you're scalp trading, that's different. Yeah, I'm going to zoom into the 1 minute and I'm going to pinpoint exactly where it is. But that is not my plan here. Max XVG. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Thanos took the scalp. Forgot to take the day trade at the same time. Trying to find a decent entry. You might get another shot at it. I really don't know. I really don't know. We have confirmed 15-minute and 30-minute SFP. You might get another entry. You might. I don't know. I hope you do. But this was the trade. Whether it works out or not, this was the trade. But you might get a better entry. I might get a better entry. I might get stopped out. All good. I won't lose any money, and I might get a better entry. So all good. But this was the trade. Confirmed swing failure pattern on the same candle. With local bear divs. I'll tell you what I don't like about this, guys. We don't have, and you don't need it. You don't need it. I just don't like it that you don't have bear divs on the higher time frames. Like, let's go to the 8 hour. You don't even have it here. You don't have it. I don't like that. So one thing I don't like about it. Let's go look at like daily RSI. Yeah, you don't got it. You don't got it on the higher time frames. Nothing. About the best you got is like hourly and down, which is fine. There have been big turnarounds, big trades taken on hourly and down divergences. And hell, you don't even need divergences really, but they just help. They increase your probability. But I would really like to see this bearish divergence on the 4-hour or daily or something like that. I would really like that. We just don't have it, and we're not going to have it. I mean, you kind of got it. No, you don't. Yeah, you do. You kind of got... I don't like this. This is very ugly, but you do kind of have it here. It's very ugly. I think that's hidden bearish divergence. I'm not good at my terminology. It's bearish divergence. I think that's hidden, which is continuation of the downtrend, but it is very unconfirmed. Hidden bear div, continuation of the downtrend. It is very unconfirmed. I don't like this. But we're in a good trade. We're in a profitable trade right now. And if we have to go back to the drawing board and re-enter, then that's what we'll do. Let's go look at XVG for max. Guys, let me know if you have any alts. I will look at any of them. We'll try to help you find targets, or at least what I think they are. Let's update this. We haven't looked at this in a couple weeks. You're literally in the, well, let's see. Last we looked at this, we were up here. So we've come down a little bit. But you're pretty much in the same area we were at in the last couple weeks. We looked at this. I still think your target's are the same here. You're entering, you're trying to lose this high volume node here, and you're entering this volume gap, which takes you right down to point of control. And you can see how many times in the last cycle you return to this. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. That doesn't include how much time you spent here below point of control. But I mean, you kind of live around point of control. This seems like home base for XVG. So being this massive volume gap here, and the sheer number of, like a freaking magnet it comes here, I would be targeting this area. But I really, you guys know I like this coin. I like it a lot. Okay, personally, I don't trust this, like, where it was released. It was released, unfortunately, at the very end of a bull run. This was Bitcoin's 2021 high, 69K. So that's when this coin came out. So it was just kind of down only. But you just can't trust this. This is the first full cycle, and you put in a rising wedge pattern or rising channel. Just nothing but higher lows and higher highs. I like this. I like this. Could you put in another one in the next cycle and even come take out the high? It looks like it. I like this coin. Thanos put me on this coin. I just like this coin. It's got a lot of fundamental potential too. Privacy coin. A lot of fundamental potential. It just looks good. It looks way better than most of the coins. So let's look at something random here like Algo. Take a mental picture of this. Take a mental picture of this. This is this cycle. Take a mental picture of how this looks. Now look at your everyday coin like Algorand. Does that look anything like the same thing? Does that look anything like the same thing? The answer is no. This looks terrible. Could it do great? Yeah, it could run up to $100 for all I know. But it looks terrible. XVG looks way different. West Coast says cake. Still on the weekly. It doesn't look good. Oh, and you know, you can't trust this. Same thing as XVG. This was released. This is the 2021 very end of the bull market, excuse me. Bitcoin 69K right here, right in here. And then this thing was released. Came out of the bear market, and you never really left. I'm actually, you did worse. This looks terrible. This looks terrible. Look. Let me show you. Let me compare. Let me show you. Where was Bitcoin's bear? Here we go. Bitcoin's bear market was, let's say the bottom, bitty bottom. Let's just say in that June of 2022 through March of 23. June of 2022, March of 23. Okay, this was the bear market for Bitcoin. This green box, let's change the color of the box. This doesn't look good, brother. This was the bear market for Bitcoin, okay? This was the bear market, right? And I know that most alts didn't perform too well, but at least most alts, when Bitcoin left the bear market right here, right, started doing this. They may not have gone to high, but they started doing this, and this coin actually went down from bear market lows and stayed down there. So this thing formed a range below bear market lows. That is awful. So what do you think is going to happen this time? This was bull run for this, which was below bear market lows, which means this time you're likely going to find a new range below this low. This may be worse than Picoin. Just kidding. But do you see what I'm saying? As far as, I'm not making fun of you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, let's compare with another crappy coin, but decently crappy. Oh, Lord. I don't even want to compare it with a good one, like Fetch. Well, let's put up like Cardano. Let's put up Cardano. All right, so we got Cake on the left. Both these on the weekly. Cake's on the left. All right, Cake's on the left. Cardano, which is kind of your average coin, I would say. They're both on the weekly time frames. But do you see here where, let's even extend this over. You see here where Cardano was in the bear market, same area that this was in the bear market, right? Same area, same area. Cardano moved up and out. Boom. Cake moved down and out. So it didn't even have a run. I mean, if you count this, but that's actually lower than Bitcoin's bear market. So the bull market for Cake got you back to the bear market lows for Bitcoin. Does that make sense? Like, these just look completely different. And heaven forbid we throw something like Fetch on there. Or Solana or Zcash. I mean, do I even got to show it? So this area right here, see the red, orange, right? You can see my gray cursor on the right. It lines up with the left. That's the area for Cake. Right there. I mean, there's no comparison. Like, you should absolutely remove this from your watch list so you're never tempted to look at it again. Just look at the difference. From the exact same point, look at my cursors. Look at my cursors. Exact same point. This one went down. And this one went massively freaking up. To the tune of about 6,500%. While this one actually went down, let's just grab the average. About 80% down. There's a little button over here. Let me show you. Like, if you highlight over these over here, you can't see it on my screen, but there's a little button that looks like a trash can. You should go to that Cake and slide over to the right and click that trash can. Look, bro, for all I know, this thing goes to $200 next cycle, but I'm telling you, it looks awful. I don't know that I've seen one that actually went and lived below its bear market low the entire bull run. I don't think I've seen a coin that's done that yet. Maybe there's some out there. This is the first one I've seen, though, that literally didn't even... Look at your bear market bounce high. This is your bear market bounce high. I know I'm harping on this coin. Look at, that's your bear market bounce high right there. You never came above your bear market bounce high. Ever. Where is here's the bear market bounce high for fetch. Right there. Right at the blue line. I put an orange line, but it's right at the blue line. You did like 6,000%. And I know fetch is the exception, but we just showed it on Cardano. I could show it on every other coin. All right, I'm harping on it. I'm kidding. I like to give I think West Coast goes and finds these coins to send me. If you're just joining us, let me show you the other one West Coast sent me. That actually looks worse than that. If anybody is following Pi Network, you should delete it. Delete it, delete it, delete it. All right, any other alts, guys? Any other alts? Bitcoin coming back up. If I get stopped out, I'll see if I can't get in this trade again. See what we'd have if we came up. I'm still in the trade. My stop's at the high. I've already taken profit. Depending on if and when we came and took this high, we could have some more local divs. You do have the 5-minute trying to cross into the green, which could give you a little more of a move up, actually. But so far, nothing to see here. Got a 702 retrace on this move down so far. Rejected from that. We'll see. We'll see. Either way, if you're late joining us, we've been calling for this. This is exactly what we're looking for. We've looked for and planned for this for a couple months now. Before we even got here, we were looking for this structure. Just based upon the overall macro here, we were anticipating. We had circles, in fact, on here. Look. Circles. We've been looking for these circles. These circles have been on the chart since before price got into them. It's just because of how similarly it matches up to previous cycle. So we've been looking for this. March stats, we've been planning for this move up in the first week of March, and then I believe it's going to be down only, guys, the entire rest of the month. You may have a day or two, 3 up here. If you don't just straight up reject today, a couple of days here. If we look at the fractal, when you did get to the top here on the fractal, day 1, then you spent a day, and then it was kind of all she wrote. You did come back up on a little bounce. I think this was a 786 bounce. We already looked at this, and then down. So you could spend a couple days up here. Could go a little bit higher. We've allowed ourselves to go a little higher on our target. We've had this target on here. So we'll just see. We'll see what happens here, guys. All right. Any other questions, comments, altcoins? I will take a look. Anything you want me to look at? Max says XR Pizzle. Let's go take a look at XRP. I haven't looked at XRP in a couple weeks. Go to weekly. Thanos, I know you're glad you got out of that XRP. You were worried about that for a minute. It has come way down since then. We talked about that. You were at like $2. Nothing's changed here, guys. XRP, holding on pretty well. Looks good. Coin looks good. Coin looks good. I give you that. But I would look for a retest. You can see clear. I know XRP had all the drama and all that stuff, but you can see clearly that this is where XRP likes to go to, at least value area high. Even if you don't fall back into that range, if you're able to hold that range, this is clear support and resistance for XRP, right? Clearly. So I would look for a move at least down to there. You have the weekly vector candles here that are, this one's mitigated, but this one is not even a nickel of it. So I think you come recover that vector candle. I'd be looking to buy XRP around 60 cents. You could go lower. But I would be pretty interested in XRP around 60 cents. Not before. I definitely think you come down there. I think you recover this candle. I could see a scenario where you come down here, bullishly backtest, something like that. XRP looks good. I don't think XRP is going to blow your socks off next cycle. I don't think you're going to get a 20x out of it. I don't think anything like that. I think there are far better, I won't say better coins, but better opportunities to make more profit. XRP is like Ethereum. You're going to do pretty well. The biggest XRP gains were this past cycle, in my opinion, because the lawsuit was dismissed. All the drama kind of came out of XRP, so it was able to make up for lost time because it really underperformed 2 cycles ago. I held XRP. I held XRP when the news was released about the lawsuit. I had a big bag of XRP, like 300,000 XRP. I sold them for a big loss. It's one of the only big losses. I've taken lots of losses. This was a big freaking loss. Yeah, I could have held it for 6-7 years, whatever it was, and made money. But I didn't know. I didn't know how the lawsuit was going to pan out, so I took a big loss on that. I will never forget it. But anyway, it's like Ethereum. You're probably going to do really well on it, but there are better opportunities, in my opinion, for bigger gains. But I like to call these kinds of coins solid. You're going to get solid, fairly reliable and predictable returns. I know it's crypto. Anything can happen. I get it. But it looks good. It just doesn't wow me, but it looks good, and I wouldn't even entertain anything till 60, 65 cents, maybe even a little lower. I would say between 50 and 60 cents. Somewhere in there. XR Pizzle. My stop on the swing trade is at the high. Right there. Right there. High is at 72,610. I'm at 72,660. If we go higher than that, and the reason for that, guys, there's not much here, y'all. There's not much here. Look how thin this is. Look how thin this is. Look how thin. You just had quick moves. Look, even on the way down, quick move, quick move. It's really thin, so if you get above this high that we just said, you're probably going to quick move up. And my next target will be, I don't even have it on the red box, but my first next target will be daily naked point of control. If not, you come into this entire area right here, okay? But either way, there's just, especially if this was a lot of chop right here, if this was chop, 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 I probably wouldn't even have a stop there. I would anticipate we're going to fly into this and then reject. But there's not. This is very thin, very fast moving price action. So I don't feel the need to ride into drawdown because I don't see any support or resistance here that's going to stop me before I get to daily naked point of control. So for me, this area is just a senseless drawdown area. Senseless. For me, I could be wrong. It could go right into it and turn around. I could be wrong. I don't see any liquidity wicks here that need to be taken out. I just don't see any reason for price to turn around in this box right here. So I'm not going to ride that drawdown. I'll look to re-enter here. That's just how I'm viewing it, and maybe I'm wrong. Certainly wrong from time to time. But I don't think so in this case. I really don't think so. I would be willing to bet that if you come, now you could come quick SFP this. I mean, just quick and turn around. Okay, that's just a quick liquidity grab, and that's often. You see that a lot. You'll SFP a major level. You see, we've taken some of these live in Discord before. You'll come up, you'll SFP a major level like we just did, right? Then you'll come back down. Then you'll come just quick that and then head for a big drop. We see that a lot. I'm telling you, in my opinion, you could get that. But if you don't just quick this last high that we set, I would bet you anything we do not stop here. And the first chance to stop is going to be daily naked point of control, if not the next dang red box. So this is, what is this? Above the high. That's an extra 5 to 7%. I just don't need to ride drawdown. Because I know, in my opinion, we're at least going here if we take out that. Ooh, we just did it. I just got stopped out. Ooh, I might re-enter. Let me see. I was talking. I missed this. I got stopped out, but we did not take a loss, guys. We had TP'd. I showed you guys that. Hang on, guys. We took it with bear divs. We've not SFP'd it yet, though. We did take it with some, I'm looking at 3-minute bear divs. Unconfirmed. I might re-enter here. Waiting. 6 minutes. No divs. 5. Unconfirmed divs on the 5. We need to check the Dow too. See if the Dow's filled yet. The Dow has gap filled. Dow gap is filled. Listen, look at the S&P gap filled. Look at the Russell gap filled. There's a gap from last week up there. But the biggies, the S&P and the Dow have gap filled. So technically, they've done what they came here to do. They could roll over. My MEXC is lagging up on me. Hang on, guys. All right, I gotta go in. We wound up making $144 on that. I thought I must have had my stop in the wrong place. Or I did something. We made $144 on that. Unintentional. I was intending to break even. We'll take it. Let's see. 144 bucks. You're getting an unconfirmed Alexander buy signal. I don't trust it though. It's unconfirmed no matter what. You'd have to close, it would have to be the daily close on this particular signal. You get a daily close. Those of you in the Discord that have the Alexander indicator, if you get the daily close with this buy signal on here, it's the Alexander the Great that you can only get in the Discord. If you have this and we get a daily close, we could move up. And all this be invalidated. Not necessarily invalidated, you just could get a greater percentage than we were calling for. In my opinion, we could get the March stats that we're calling for up to 75K-ish. It's too late to long, though, in my opinion. All right, so what we'd have to do, we talked about this in Discord earlier. Now, since, let's see, 15 minutes. Oh, we forgot to look at news. Sorry. News was bullish. There you go. There's your catalyst. You got bullish news. All right, so this 72.6 is our new SFP level we're looking at swing failure pattern. Well, 72.2, now we're looking at this one. If price continues up, we would have to adjust that. This is not shortable right now for me. This still doesn't look like that. This still looks exactly like this, guys. Matter of fact, when we took the high, I looked at this earlier. When we took the high in 2022, in case you're wondering, this area of the chart, it looks like we're continuing up. So whenever we came down and set the low, right? Then we bounced and took the high. So we set the low here, bounced and took the high here. That was the bounce before it was starting to chop, right? So this bounce right here, that would have been our swing failure pattern level we would have looked for back then. When we took the high, we took it by 3%. Again, you don't have to take about 3%. You could take it more or less, but 3%. So it wasn't just like $5 and then roll over. So let's put that into today. We've currently taken it by 1.3%. So I hate to do percentages, but at 3%, at 3%, we'd be looking somewhere around a 74 to 74.5K move, right? $74.5K move. $73.4 would be a good target for me. That is the 702. From this last little bounce high until the bottom, and we're coming up on that fast. That's our 702. You know that's my favorite zone. 75.5, it could. I'm not looking for 75.5. I don't see any reason it would stop at 75.5 if it came there. None whatsoever. I think if you even start to get above this 702, you're coming to 76.2 at a minimum. Daily naked point of control is a magnet. But the 73.4 could be an area. 702. That is a big reversal zone if you reject from there. Set alert on it. Alt's moving up a little bit. None of them just standing out though. They're off 5, 6, 7% that are on my chart anyway, that I follow. The VIX, your leading indicator, you could have caught this. I didn't, I slept. You could have caught this with the VIX. Brought that up earlier, but forgot to mention it. In the middle of the night, right here, middle of the night, right around midnight-ish, started to move down out of the panic area, started to move down, started to pump up on Bitcoin. Guys, if you don't follow the VIX, you're missing out on the leading indicator. And I know what you're thinking. I discussed this yesterday. But you're still above the fear dump level. Yeah, you are, but you're not heading into it. Right? You're not heading into it. You're heading down from it. That's bullish. Okay, it's different if you're up at this level here and you're heading into it. That means fear, panic is increasing, price is dumping. But this headed down through it means fear and panic are subsiding, so price can move up. All right, guys, we have any questions before I get out? Any questions, any alts? I will, of course, let you know on VIP Discord if I see what I'm looking to see to take this short. We took it, we made about 300 bucks because let's see if I can pull it up. I showed you earlier. We took the scalp trade also, so we made about 300 bucks accidentally. It was supposed to be a break even. Closed out 150. I was supposed to close out at break even on the day, which would have me a negative 150 for a total break even, but apparently I screwed up my stop loss somewhere in there. That's what happens when I'm chatting like this and trying to enter my stuff over here. All right, guys, no other questions. All good, guys. Thank you for being here. The Lord has blessed us today. It is a good day. Bitcoin's moving. We're looking for the big short. Make no mistake, we are looking for the big short. I do not think price is fixing to take off up out of here. Even if you move up another % or two, totally expected, guys. Totally expected. Drawn in advance, totally expected. But that is not the trade we're looking for now. We gave and took this trade yesterday. We closed out too soon, but it is what it is. We are looking for this. Okay? I will let you know in the VIP Discord, AnthonyLeeCrypto.com, if you want to join us. In the VIP Discord, your page is going to look like this. You can join us in the VIP Discord, and I'll let you know if and when I take it, where my stops are, where my targets are, all that good stuff, how I manage it along the way. So